Orphan baby found asleep with 3 kittens. What parents discovered shocked everyone. A crying orphan, a cold night, and 3 tiny kittens found asleep beside her. What looked like a miracle soon revealed something far deeper, a bond written long before the baby was born. When her adoptive mother discovers who once saved those cats, the truth shatters everything. Before watching, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell us where are you watching from in the comment. The morning started like any other, until Maya realized the crib was empty. "Liam," her voice cracked through the quiet house. He dropped his coffee, eyes wide. "What do you mean empty?" She pointed at the nursery. The pink blanket was crumpled, the tiny headband gone. The window latch hung loose. For one terrible heartbeat, both of them froze. Then Maya ran barefoot across the cold floor. "Emma!" The silence after that name could kill. It wasn't just fear. It was memory. For years that same silence had filled their house. After every miscarriage, after every failed adoption call, after every time Maya whispered to an empty crib, "Maybe next time." Liam followed her, trying to stay calm. "She can't crawl that far, Maya." "The window. She's not—" Then they heard it, a faint purr. 3 of them. Maya turned toward the living room. There, on the knitted white blanket she'd left on the couch, lay baby Emma, fast asleep, her lips parted slightly, her chubby hand resting on the fur of a tiny white kitten. 2 tabby kittens curled along her legs and neck, their heads pressed into her soft pink sleeve. For a moment, Maya forgot to breathe. The morning light touched them like a painting. 3 kittens, keeping an orphan baby warm, like they knew she had nobody else. "God," Liam muttered, falling to his knees. "She could have caught her death." But Maya shook her head. "No. Look, Emma's body was warm. The kitten's tiny paws moved rhythmically against her chest. The little white one, Snow, had her nose tucked into the lace of Emma's outfit like it was her mother's skin." Maya whispered, "They kept her alive." That night, after the chaos faded, Maya couldn't sleep. She sat beside the crib, watching Emma breathe. "She doesn't even cry when she wakes up anymore," Maya said softly. "Just looks for them." Liam leaned against the doorframe. "Maybe she thinks they're family." "She doesn't have one, Liam," Maya snapped, eyes wet. Then quieter. "Not really." They both went silent, because they both knew that was true. Emma had been left outside an orphanage, wrapped in a hospital blanket, a small envelope pinned to her chest. Inside was only her name, Emma. No surname, no note, nothing else. Maya picked up the kitten's feeding bottles and sighed. "You think maybe this is why she stopped crying?" "Because she feels them?" Liam shrugged, rubbing the back of his neck. "Or maybe she just found something that doesn't leave." Maya froze at that. Because everything in Emma's short life had left. Her mother, her roots, her story. Even Maya sometimes felt like she was pretending to fill a space that belonged to someone else. Later that week, she found something strange in the adoption box, the one she hadn't opened since the day they brought Emma home. A folded photograph. On it, a young woman with messy hair and tired eyes smiled faintly, holding a gray-striped cat that looked hauntingly familiar. The same pattern. The same faint white streak on the tail as one of the kittens. Maya stared for minutes, then called, "Liam, come here." He looked at the photo, frowning. That's impossible. These kittens were born 2 months ago. She looks like she could have been Emma's. Maya stopped. The thought was too heavy to finish. That night, Emma woke up crying for the first time in weeks. Not the soft, sleepy cry of a baby, but something sharp, scared. Maya rushed in, scooping her up, but Emma twisted toward the kitten's basket, reaching her tiny fingers out. The kittens mewed in unison. One of them climbed out, dragging a small piece of pink fabric, a torn corner from the blanket Emma had been left in the day she was found. Maya stared. "How did they—" Liam whispered. "It was in the adoption box, wasn't it?" Maya pressed her lips together. "It was." The room felt smaller suddenly, the air tighter. Emma calmed only when all 3 kittens were back in her crib, one tucked against her cheek, the others along her belly. She drifted back to sleep. Maya sat beside the crib for hours, unable to look away. "What are the chances, Liam?" she whispered. "What are the chances that she's found warmth in the same creatures her mother once touched?" He didn't answer. Because deep down, he didn't think it was coincidence either. The next morning, sunlight poured through the window, catching on the lace of Emma's sleeve, and the tiny paws resting over her heart. Maya picked up the photograph again, her hands trembling. On the back, faint pencil lines appeared under the glare, words she hadn't seen before. "For whoever finds her, please love her the way I couldn't. She already loves cats." Maya's knees went weak. She sat down beside the crib, whispering, "I will. I promise." The kittens purred louder, as if they understood. And for the first time since bringing Emma home, Maya cried not out of pain, but something else entirely. Fear that this bond between the baby and the kittens might mean more than she was ready to know. Outside, the world looked peaceful. But inside that quiet house, a storm had begun, one that would lead Maya to the truth of who Emma really was. The days after the photo felt heavier than silence. Maya couldn't stop thinking about the note. She already loves cats. It repeated in her mind like a heartbeat. Emma was fine, healthy, cheerful even, but Maya couldn't sleep. Every night she'd wake and find Emma awake too, one chubby hand clutching Snow's tail like it was a lifeline. Sometimes she'd whisper tiny sounds, half laugh, half sob, and the kittens would answer with faint purrs. Liam tried to distract her. "We should be happy, Maya." "She's bonding. That's good." "It's not normal," she whispered. "She doesn't cry for me, Liam." "Only for them." He sighed. Maybe that's her way of healing. But Maya didn't feel healed. She felt haunted. A week later, she visited the orphanage again, just to check some files, she told herself. The social worker frowned. "You already have all her documents." Maya hesitated. There was a photo inside her adoption box. A woman with a cat. "Do you know who she is?" The woman shook her head. "No records. She left the baby at our gate at dawn, wrapped in a blanket, with a small stuffed toy, and the note you've already read." The camera outside caught nothing. It was raining. Maya's throat tightened. "No name? No address?" "Nothing," the woman said softly. But she looked young. Maybe scared, Maya drove home in silence. Every sound in the car felt like a question. When she entered the house, Liam was kneeling by the kitten's corner. "Look at this." He held out a small tag, dirty, half rusted, from the kitten's carrier. Faint letters showed through. Stray Cat Rescue. Donation Fund 07. Maya's heart skipped. That was the shelter she'd volunteered at years ago, long before they adopted Emma. "Where did you find this?" "It was under the couch," he said. "Maybe the carrier was reused." Maya took out her phone and called the shelter. The voice on the other end was shaky but familiar. "Maya? It's Anna. How are you?" "I'm fine." "Do you have any record from the 07 donation fund? A woman, maybe early 20s, who brought in a gray-striped cat?" Anna went quiet. Then, "Wait. That's strange. We had a girl like that. I think her name was Rachel. She came in crying, said she couldn't keep her cat anymore. I remember because she said, 'She's pregnant. Please make sure her babies live.' The cat gave birth a few weeks later. We kept one kitten line alive through every generation." "Why?" Maya's knees nearly gave out. "Rachel, you have her full name?" Anna hesitated. "Rachel Hill." "Why?" Maya's voice cracked. "Because I think I'm raising her daughter." Silence. Just breathing on both ends. When she hung up, Liam stared at her. "What did you find?" Maya's lips trembled. "The kittens. Their mother was Rachel's cat. The same cat she rescued before she disappeared. These kittens are her descendants." Liam blinked. "So you're saying—" "I'm saying Emma's mother saved the cat bloodline that just saved her child's life." He sat back slowly, disbelief washing over him. "That's unreal." "It's not unreal," Maya whispered. "It's cruel and beautiful at the same time." That night, Maya couldn't help but imagine Rachel, young, terrified, handing her cat over to strangers, not knowing that years later that same line of kittens would find her baby. When Emma woke again, crying softly, Maya didn't rush. She watched instead. Snow climbed over the crib rail, curling against Emma's chest. The other two followed, one resting under her chin. Within seconds, Emma's breathing slowed. Liam whispered from the doorway, "She's safest when they're near." Maya nodded. Because they were meant to find her. A week later, they received an envelope from the shelter. Inside was Rachel's adoption form for her cat. In shaky handwriting it said, "If anything ever happens to me, please don't let her kittens end up on the street. They deserve a home. They've seen enough cold." Maya folded the paper and pressed it to her chest. Tears ran down her face, but this time they felt right. She whispered toward the crib, "You'll never feel cold again." The kittens stirred. Snow opened her eyes briefly, mewing once as if to promise. Months later, when journalists came after hearing about the miracle connection between the orphan and the cats, Maya didn't tell them about Rachel or the letter. She just said, "Some bonds start before birth. You just have to let them find their way home." The camera flash caught Emma's sleepy smile. 3 kittens nestled around her in the same old pattern. As the reporters left, Maya sat beside the crib and whispered, "Your mother didn't abandon you, sweetheart. She just left you with a promise." And it found its way back through them. Snow purred louder, pressing against Emma's tiny hand. Outside, wind moved through the trees, but the house felt warm, alive with small heartbeats and second chances. For the first time, Maya didn't feel like she'd taken someone's child. She felt like Rachel had trusted her to finish what she couldn't. She kissed Emma's forehead and whispered, "You were never lost. You were coming home." The kittens slept closer, the same way they had that first morning, one at her neck, one across her belly, one guarding her tiny heart, as if the warmth between them carried all the love that had ever been missing. If this story touched your heart, don't scroll past. Hit like, comment, and subscribe to see more true emotional stories like this. Every share helps more people believe that love, fate, and kindness can still find their way home, even through three small kittens.